Hi, this is question number 8 from chapter 5, part B. They're telling us a whole bunch of nonsense and want us to calculate a whole bunch of nonsense. So let's start with reading the question. A retailer buys an appliance for $1,480 less 25% and 15%. So we've got to deal with those two trade discounts. The store prices the merchandise at a regular selling price to cover expenses, sometimes called overhead, of 40% of the regular selling price and a net profit of 10% of the regular selling price. So we're going to use those pieces of information to get the regular selling price. During a clearance sale, the appliance was sold at a markdown of 45%. So we'll be able to calculate the clearance sale price. Then they want to know what are the regular expenses, the overhead. We'll now, once we know the regular selling price, we'll be able to calculate them as 45 or 40%. When a store puts an item on sale, do the regular expenses change? And the answer here is definitely no. Let's make a note of that. Oops. We want to make a note of the fact that the regular expenses are always based on the regular selling price. So make sure you keep this in mind. The expenses are always based on the regular selling price. Just because you put an item on sale, things like rent, wages, taxes, and all the other costs of doing business do not change. So we can always calculate these based on the regular selling price, not the sale price or any other price. Keeping that in mind, we can then calculate the operating profit or loss. So let's take a look at what we can do here. Let's calculate the cost. We are basically using N equals L, but in this case, we know the list price, 1480. And 1 minus D1, D1 is 25%. And 1 minus D2, which is 15%. And when we multiply that out, we get a cost of 94350. So that's our answer to part A. Let's put A there. For B, we're basically looking at S equals C plus E, plus M. But in this case, they've told us that M equals E plus P. They've told us what those are. So we have to put them back into this equation. S equals C plus E plus P. And we can fill in what we know here. The cost is 943.50. The expenses we've been told are 40%, so 0.4 of the regular selling price, and the profit is 10%, so 0.1 of the regular selling price. So we have to solve this equation for S. So all the S's have to leap over, and we get S minus 0.4 S minus 0.1 S, still being equal to 943.50. So we have to remember there's an invisible 1 here, and this becomes 0.5 S equals 943.50. And then we solve it. S is equal to 943.50 divided by 0.5, which ends up being equal to 1,887. So that's basically our answer to part B. And now we can look at part C, because they've told us during a clearance sale, the appliance was sold at a markdown of 45%. So we'll start with basically N equals L, but in this case, our list price is the 1,887, and we have 1 minus D1, which is, there's only one discount, so 0.45. And so when they put this thing on sale, it came down to 1037.85. So we can look at part D. What are the regular expenses, or just the expenses? Expenses equals, and we're told they were 40% of the regular selling price, but we think we know the regular selling price. So 0.4 times 1,887. And what do we get there? Hopefully we get 754.80. Part E, we've already answered. When a store puts an item on sale, do the regular expenses change? No, comma. Always based on regular selling price. So for part F, the operating profit or loss when the appliance was sold at the clearance sale price. So we'll have the clearance sale price equals cost plus expenses plus profit. But we know most of these numbers. The clearance sale price was 1037.80. The cost we decided was 943.50. $750. The regular expenses, we've calculated them as 754.80. And of course, what's going to change is going to be the profit. They may or may not be making a profit at this price. So the profit is going to equal 1037.80 minus 943.50 minus 754.80, and hopefully, let's find a calculator here. 1037.80. Oh no, it's not 80, it's 85. So let's fix that before we screw everything up. 85. 1037.85 minus 943.50, and then minus 754.80, and we get a negative amount here, negative $660.45. So that would be the amount they lost on any of these appliances that they sold at the clearance sale price. So let's save all that nonsense. And then let's stop recording this.